Hey everybody, welcome back to Winamac Attack Hockey. And today we have Matt, Jake, and Vander, and me, Dom the Bomb, here doing playoff brackets. We all made a bracket, and Jake is going to walk us through, and we're going to explain to you guys who our favorites are to win this year's Stanley Cup. Jake, take it away.
All right. So at the time of recording this, the playoff matchups just got set. So it's, after midnight for us. So if any of our matchups look awful, don't blame us, blame the time. First matchup, Colorado versus St. Louis. I picked St. Louis. Matt, what do you got?
I got Colorado.
Okay, Dom,
I also have the Avs winning that series, but it'll be a good one.
Vander.
Yep, also Colorado.
All right. So we got 3 Colorados and 1 St. Louis. Next up, we have Vegas versus Minnesota. Matt, who do you have?
I have Minnesota in a bit of an upset.
I like it.
Okay. Do you also have Minnesota then, Dom?
No, I do not. I have Vegas winning this one, but I like Matt picking an upset there.
Vander, what about you?
Yep, Vegas as well.
I picked Minnesota, so that means we got a split here. Also, I'm just saying I picked 2 upsets, so start praising me, Dom.
Cappers off.
All right, next up, we have Carolina versus Nashville. Dom, who do you have?
Carolina's going to win this series very easily unless Saros steals the show. So I got the Hurricanes.
Vander?
Yep, Carolina.
Matt?
I got the Storm Surge, Carolina.
All right, so it looks like Carolina because we swept it. It's all 4 going Carolina. Next up, we have Florida and Tampa Bay. Vander, who do you have?
I got Tampa Bay.
Matt?
I got the reigning champs, Tampa.
Dom?
I like what the Florida Panthers have been doing recently. I got them winning in 7.
Okay, well, I also picked Tampa Bay. So 3 of us are going to get it right. Pittsburgh versus New York Islanders. I picked Pittsburgh. Matt, what about you?
I got Trotz and the Islanders.
Dom?
Crosby's hot. I got Pittsburgh.
And Vander?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Crosby isn't done yet. Okay, next up we have Washington versus Boston. And Matt, who do you have?
I have Boston.
All right, I picked Washington. Dom, who do you have?
I have the Capitals winning this bloodbath of a series.
Vander?
Yep, I think the Caps are going to win over Boston.
Yeah, I don't know why I was confused on that. I had my scroll off, but yeah, I picked Washington pretty handedly. Next up is Toronto versus Montreal. And Dom, who do you have?
I got Toronto taking this series pretty easily.
Vander, who do you have?
Toronto in a close one.
Matt, who do you have?
Montreal.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. Shea Weber's going off, dude.
Is that it? It's not Carey Price. It's just all Shea Weber breaking his back for Montreal.
Guaranteed hat trick, game 1. You heard it here.
All right, you heard it here first. On the other hand, I picked Toronto. So we'll, hope for Matt because that would be awesome. But let's move on to Edmonton versus Winnipeg. Dom, who do you have?
Edmonton and Winnipeg. I have the Oilers actually getting out of round 1 of the playoffs here.
Vander, what about you?
I got Edmonton winning it. McDavid's too hot.
Matt?
I got Edmonton.
All right, so I also have Edmonton. Do we think that McDavid's going to put up 100 points in 16 playoff games?
No.
I'll give him 45, 3 points a game. Roughly.
Not bad, not bad. All right, so that should take us into the second round. I had St. Louis versus Minnesota in my second round. And I, again, picked St. Louis to win just because they've been dominant over Minnesota this year. I think the bracket just completely lined up for the first 2 rounds for the Blues. Dom, who do you have for this round?
Yeah, so second round for the West. I have the Avies going up against Vegas. That's going to be a great series if that ends up happening. I think the Avs have been playing some really good hockey recently. I think that series, if it happens, is going to go into 7 games. And I have the Avs taking it.
All right, Vander, who do you have?
I also have the Avs and the Golden Knights, but I got the Golden Knights coming out on top.
Interesting. Matt, I think you had an upset with Minnesota in round one. So what's your matchup here?
Yes, I did. I had Colorado taking on Minnesota in this round, and I had Minnesota continuing the Cinderella season and Colorado.
Wow. All
I like
right. Next up, my bracket had Carolina versus Tampa Bay Lightning, and I picked Tampa Bay Lightning. We mentioned it already, reigning champs. I think they won it again. Dom, how about you?
Yeah, so I got the Carolina Hurricanes going up against Coach Q and the Florida Panthers. I got Carolina Hurricanes moving on here. I think that, man, they just really ended the regular season very impressively, and I think that that's going to carry on into a deep playoff run for them.
Wow. So Florida Panthers fans watching this video heard you pick the Panthers in round one, and they're like, somebody believes in us. And then you're like, nope, Panthers in round two.
Hey, to help my case here, I did say that it was going to happen in 7 games.
That's
So-
fair. Vander, who do you have?
I have Carolina going up against Tampa Bay, and I think Carolina is going to beat Tampa Bay.
Wow. A lot of faith in Carolina here. Matt, what do you have?
I'm on the bandwagon with Vander there. I have the reigning champs going down to Carolina in this matchup.
Wow. All right. So we kind of, you and me split there, Matt, but I picked Tampa and you picked Carolina. Interesting. Next up, I had Pittsburgh versus Washington, and I picked Washington. I know Pittsburgh's had their number in the past, but 2018, Washington won it, went all the way. I think they are a better team than Pittsburgh this year, too. Dom, what's your matchup?
I also had Washington and Pittsburgh. However, I have it going the other way. I think Pittsburgh's going to take this series. I don't know. They came up out of nowhere, kind of like the Hurricanes did, to end the regular season. And again, I think that the hot team is going to win this series.
All right, Vander, who do you have?
I have Pittsburgh and Washington as well, but Crosby's not done. I think they're going to beat them too.
Wow. All right, Matt, who do you have?
Well, I had the vice versa from the first round of you guys. So I had Boston versus New York, and I have Boston taking down the Islanders in this round.
Honestly, I think that if that series happens, that would be an awesome series to watch.
I agree. If it's Matt's choices there, I think Boston takes it. But I went completely the opposite way. So next up, we have Toronto and Edmonton. And I picked Toronto over Edmonton, and I think it's going to be kind of a slaughter of Edmonton. Toronto is a really good team. Dom, what about you?
I have Toronto taking Edmonton as well. I think that McDavid and Draisaitl at some point, they're not going to be able to do a shootout, all day, every day with Austin Matthews and company. I think Toronto's the better team overall.
Right. I think both goalies are going to cry themselves to sleep every night of that series, but I still think Toronto has the edge. Vander, what about you?
I had Toronto and Edmonton, but I got Edmonton taking it. I think with as hot as McDavid and Draisaitl has been, it's going to carry into the postseason.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Well, I had the upset, a huge upset from the first round of Montreal over Toronto, and they're taking on Edmonton this round. And I have them continuing the Cinderella story, just like Minnesota. I have them beating Edmonton as well.
All right. Well, we just gained 5 subs from the Canadians fan base, so thanks, Matt. In the third round, I have Toronto versus St. Louis. And as much as I want to say St. Louis is going all the way, I think Toronto wins this one again pretty easily to continue their relatively easy run to this would be the final now. Dom, who do you have?
All right. So for me, in the way that things worked out, my matchup, I have Toronto continuing from before, and they're going to go up against Carolina here. And I have Carolina taking them down in 6 games.
All right. I mean, that's a lot of faith. And I don't know who you're thinking it's going to be, like Dougie Hamilton maybe as a star player on the team.
I think they just have a really complete team. I think that's what's unique about them is they have guys like Sebastian Aho who can really shine, but they have just a really complete team, and they're really good defensively too.
Right. And their coach still needs a contract. So maybe making it to the final will give him some bargaining power. We'll see. Vander, who do you have?
I have Vegas and Edmonton, and I got Vegas taking out Edmonton.
All right. Matt, who do you have?
I had Carolina and Montreal in the bottom side, and I have Carolina taking out Montreal.
Oh, Matt, I thought you were gonna get them all the way there.
I almost did, but I don't know, dude. I feel like that's too far.
Shea Weber's good, but he's not that good.
Yeah, I mean, if he was on offense, maybe.
All right, so here's where the interesting matchups are. I have Washington versus Toronto in the Stanley Cup final. I think Canada would rejoice if Toronto makes it that far. But I pick Washington, so sorry, Canada. Dom, what about you?
We're talking Stanley Cup final here.
Yes.
All right. In the Stanley Cup final, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins advancing against the Avs to take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Pittsburgh and Carolina, they're familiar faces with one another, and I have Carolina in Game 7. I think it'd be a thrilling series to watch in the Stanley Cup, especially because they're both from the eastern side. Typically, it wouldn't happen. They'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think Carolina's a fun team, like for their storm surge and stuff. But like as far as they play, I don't know, they kind of put me to sleep. So hopefully that's exciting for you if it happens. But I'm rooting on my Washington-Toronto matchup. How about you, Vander?
I have Pittsburgh taking on Vegas, and I got Pittsburgh in 7.
Wow. Okay, I didn't see that coming actually. And two of you had Pittsburgh in the final. Matt, who do you have?
Well, my final is Boston and Carolina, and unlike you, I love naps, so I want Carolina to take home this championship this year. Not winning it all.
All right, just to spite me now, Carolina's going to go all the way. So, I mean, I think that's some pretty good choices there overall. Matt's probably was the most questionable with Montreal. I still wish he would have had him go all the way, but it is what it is.
Dude, the
Well,
bells are popping. You just
all
wait.
right. Dom, do you want to take us out here?
Yeah, I think we all had a bunch of good picks. I love the fact that some of us really went out on a limb with upsets. Matt taking Montreal that far, taking Minnesota pretty far. I tell you what, man, in despite of COVID, I think that makes these matchups more unique. And I think we need to really take in these series and watch as many games as we can, because we're not going to see these matchups potentially again unless the divisions really get scrambled with Seattle, but I don't see that being a huge factor. So, guys, great picks. I got Carolina, and we'll see what happens next week when we update you guys on our brackets. Thanks for tuning in to Winamac Attack Hockey, everybody. We'll see you next time.